So, we got another remarkable to unbox here.
Yeah, stop playing. You know this is Lightwoods.
I
Come on.
bet.
No, come on.
just,
No, just stop it.
I just
Just
got
go.
done with
Just go.
Okay.
Oh.
How's it going, everyone? Roger here, Rants About Tech. If you're new here, welcome. Consider hitting the subscribe button for me and to the crew. Let's go get them likes up. So this is the Vivewoods AI paper. It's a 10.3-inch e-ink tablet meant for note-taking and all-around digital writing. I never thought I'd get an opportunity to play around with this device, so thank you to Vivewoods for sending me out a review copy. I'm going to go ahead and throw the specs up, but essentially this started off as a Kickstarter, and it came out of nowhere for a lot of people. Unusual quality for a startup company, seemingly. From what I've heard, I've seen a lot of reviews. I've heard a lot about this device, a lot of good stuff. So I was really anxious to try it. So like I said, I'm glad that I have this opportunity to do so. So some of the standouts to me for this particular piece of hardware, when I was doing my research when they were in the Kickstarter phase, was the thinness of the device, the similarities to the Remarkable 2. The pen wasn't too big on, so I'm anxious to see how that feels. The screen, from what I understand, is top notch, so that's, I don't think there's a question of how good the screen is. Although there's a question about the writing feel, and we're gonna test that on a couple of different nibs here. A big standout feature is the AI that's touted in this particular machine. So I'm really curious as to how I can use that and how they implemented it. Another thing I'm looking forward to is seeing how they handle the organization and what kind of organizational tools they have for indexing and whatnot. That's gonna be a big thing I'm gonna jump into, but I don't really know how I would use this device until I get into it and find out what it's capable of and what it brings to the table as far as new things to the game that other tablets don't bring. So I'm gonna reserve that for later when I do other videos, but yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the Vivewoods AI paper. So I have a new tool to open boxes, but it's really not new. I used this back in my cell phone repair days. I probably got CPU like thermal paste on it somewhere all over. But the point of the matter is it will open boxes. It will get under little things, and it's plastic. So, I don't have to worry about knives, but let's go ahead and do the unboxing here. I joked a lot about how the packaging was similar to the Remarkable 2, but upon closer inspection, it's not really that close. I might have exaggerated a bit, but it's all good fun. And Editor Rod loves it. He loves it. I really don't. I don't. Alright, so we get this paper off. And I haven't really done much research on how they do their packaging, so as you guys know, that's something I that I care about heavily, how people package stuff, because waste is a big issue we're gonna have to contend with at some point. And the least amount of it I can contribute, the better. And I want to spread that word. So, all right. So here's what we got here. It's a nice package. I like it. Feels good. Looks good. Looks like recycled paper they're doing with this as well. Yeah, it's really nice. And they have a paper pull tab here. It looks like a book. I really like that. It looks like I'm going to open a book. I can't get it. Probably I have to pull this tab. So let's go ahead and get this tab open here. All right. Oh, that is cool. I like that. All right, see, we got this. See, this reminds me of the Supernote, which, by the way, has the best packaging I've ever seen on any one of these e-ink devices. But this reminds me of that a little bit, how they had theirs wrapped in this paper right here. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Okay, so what do we got here? Memory thoughts, a place, write it down. And we got the mountains here. I love mountains. They're tapping into what I like here. But anyway, let's put that aside here. So it looks like it comes with a case as well. Now that's cool. It's I don't know if it's supposed to come like this, but they're not wasting any packaging and wrapping. It comes in a case. That's what it's wrapped in. I love that. The bottom here is plastic. It's a plastic tray, but they got a nice little paper trim here. They tried to fool me with the paper around here. They tried to get me, made me think the whole tray was paper, but it's plastic. But good try, good try. I applaud the good. You know what? You guys gave it a good try. I really applaud that. Listen, I can't knock you for trying, right? But it looks good. It looks good. Good presentation. Get rid of this plastic. You're doing the whole world a favor. What else we got here? We have a sim tool, looks like, and we have documentation here and more nibs. This is, yeah, you know, guys know I'm a nib junkie, so, ooh, these nibs look special. I might like this. What do we got? All right, so these are the nibs we got here, and I do like the fact that it's like metal. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like metal. I'm digging that. I am digging that for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and put these nibs away. Put that back in here. Next we have, looks like a power cable, and I've got tons of power cables, so I don't think I need this. I'll just slide this back in there. It can't be that much different for the power delivery. And that's all you got in the package here. Okay. Which is to say a lot, but we'll take a look at everything individually. Clean this off, be right back. All right, so we have the actual package here all nice and neat. I do like the fact that the pen is attached here. I'm not sure if that's just stuck there. It looks like it's just stuck there. Let's check it out. It looks like it's a part of the case, maybe. Oh yeah, I said it's stuck there. I almost tore that off. So it's a part of the case. That's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. That's very nice. But let's go ahead and take this out for a second and let's figure out this pen situation here. All right, so it says eraser sensor detected due to the tail movement. Do not pull the tail out. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and take this off here. Take this out of here. Put that to the side. All right. Oh, was this on there? We'll leave that on there. Put that to the side for a second. This feels nice though. I like the feel on that. They've gone the remarkable route with texturing the pen, and the remarkable is more chalky. It's got a textured grip to it. I said chalky, but this is probably way more chalky than the remarkable. Like this has a texture to it. This does too, but it's a softer feel, and it's way more like chalk. Another similarity with the remarkable. But yeah, so let's take a look at this in a second. But and this case right here is very nice. We're gonna take a full look at this in a second when we put it in there. But I do like the fact that they've gotten like, it's like a leather. I don't know if this is real leather or not. I'll have to do some research on that, but nice little logo down here. That looks, oh, whoa. That looks cool. I like that. All right, we'll put that aside for now. Let's take a look at the device here. All right, so just looking at the device here, first thing I noticed is the screen, and it's not as bright as I thought it was going to be. I'm just going to go get the E-Note here. It's like the brightness king, and we'll compare it up against that just to show you what I mean. All right, so an actual side-by-side, it doesn't look that bad. I don't know why it just didn't seem as bright. I'm going to bring in a 10.3 because I don't know why. I just felt like it would fare better. All right, so we have all three here, and now that I'm looking at them all together, they don't look that much different. I still feel like the E-Note is the king, but I mean, that could be debatable at this point, looking at these two side by side. All right, so just looking at the device as a whole here, we have some buttons down here, it seems like. AI button, I'm assuming that might be a home button from what I've seen online, and a back button. The device feels really good in the hand. Do like the back of it. It reminds me of the Remarkable 2 and the way that it kind of feels. It's just a plastic film, it feels like, over the back of it. Whereas the Remarkable 2 would get like some bubbles in the back, and you can feel that kind of thing here as well. So it's very similar to that as far as the feel goes. But I do like that color. I do like the fact that they have that in the back because it's a whole metal back would add some weight to it. I'm kind of interested in seeing if it will stick to my whiteboard here. Let's take a look and see. Okay, so it does stick on the whiteboard here. It's not confidence inspiring. You can see it there right next to the Note 4C. Yeah, it slides down when you put it up there, but if I sit it there and there's a wooden border here that you can see right here, if that wooden border wasn't there, it would just have kept sliding. The magnets just aren't strong enough to hold it in place. It's very similar to the Remarkable 2 here. That is also on the border because it will keep sliding. The Remarkable Paper Pro, you can stick it anywhere on this whiteboard and it'll stay there. 4C, anywhere it'll stay there. But these two, yeah, you gotta have a border if you want to put those on a whiteboard. All right, so looking at the other parts of the device, it looks like we have antenna notches down here. It looks like there's some speakers poking out through the bottom here. Very cool design. I really like that. It's just a perfect spot for speakers and ensures that sound is kind of pumping towards you, which is what you want. Speakers on the sides, I don't know. That is good job, Viwoods. I like the borders of the device here too. Very small borders. I didn't think I would like the design because it's almost yesteryear as far as the design goes. But as soon as the Remarkable Paper Pro released their new design, which is the same design this is, with the chin down below and the small bezels surrounding that, it's kind of the same thing. So I can't knock them for that, but I was definitely going to make note of that. It seems almost inconsequential at this point, but regardless, it's growing on me. So I won't knock the design at all. Especially when they pull off those speakers like they did. I really do like that. It makes me feel like they knew what they were doing. With the rest of the device as well. Down below also we have looks like a power port right here for your USB-C. And looks like we may have microphone right there. Maybe sound canceling. Did I hit the power button? I think I hit the power button inadvertently there. I didn't want to do a startup yet because I wanted to time it. Continuing on, we have nothing on the other sides of the device other than this weird notch right here, which I don't know what that's about. Maybe a magnet. And of course the power button that I already hit inadvertently, so it's coming on. So let's go ahead and take a look at the startup and then the initial setup. All right, so before we jump into that, I realized I hadn't talked about this pin here. And like I said before though, I do like the feel of it. I don't know what kind of nibs they're using. This feels... Oh, it's pressure sensitive, so this goes in there. I like that. I like that a lot. The Supernote pins do the same thing. They have a much harder ceramic nib. I'm saying much harder because I don't know what this is, so you know, whatever. But this feels good. I like this. Okay. They've gotten my attention on a couple of the design choices here that I really like. Button on the pin. Listen, Viwoods, if you're listening, good job, man. You guys are definitely on the right road here. But yeah, very clicky. I like it. It's kind of out of the way. You can feel it. And it's on the flat part, so you know where it's at on the device. It's no looking for it. That's cool too. I mean, you can even feel where this is at without having to look around the pin. I'm interested to know what this tip is though. It feels like a hard felt. I could be wrong on that, but we'll see. Let's actually look and see what nibs they have in the packaging there. All right, so after looking at the nibs that came in the packaging, these nibs are different. I'm going to take one out. That could have took me out. Anyway, let's see if we can feel what this is. This is definitely felt. Though these are felt nibs, they feel different in some kind of way, especially with that metal shaft. And it just could be a metal coating over the shaft. I'm not sure how that affects the writing experience. But I'm super interested to see what this feels like and this nib, which makes me feel like this nib is the harder nib that they talked about. Like I said, doing my research during the Kickstarter campaign, I read that they had a harder nib and a felt nib. So this must be the harder one. What it is, I'm not sure. I have to do some research on that, but I'll definitely let you know how it feels though. All right, so as far as this nib goes here, the pen is nice. The nib feels good. It goes in a bit, which I love. And it has the button here and it has the eraser. I mean, other than it being just a cylindrical tube, which, you know, you want it to stick to the device. I hope it does. Okay. Glad they have a loop on that cover, or I'll be blasting this pen for not being strong enough to stick to the device. That's the only gripe I would have about this pen. is that it haphazardly sits to the side of the device. And like my thing is that if you're gonna make a cylindrical tube, it should be in an effort to make it stick to the device better. But if it's not going to do that, then abandon the cylindrical tube and make something worth holding. Make something worth writing with. You know what I mean? If it's not going to do that, that would be the only saving grace I would have for a pen of this type. But if it sits to the side of the device and stays there, and from my experience, the only device that does that is the Remarkable Paper Pro. That pen is awesome, and like I said, I can deal with it being just a cylindrical tube for two reasons. I mean, I have a gripe with it that it doesn't have a button, but that aside for a second, it feels good. It's just a cylindrical tube, but it feels good. It has an eraser on it. That nib is, I'm telling you, second to none. I would take that nib they have on the Remarkable Paper Pro over the ceramic nib if it were something that would work on all devices. But it's a proprietary system they have that just works with the Remarkable Paper Pro from what I understand. But man, that nib and that film combination they have on the Remarkable Paper Pro makes it worth just having a cylindrical tube that I don't talk crap about because A, it's cylindrical, but it sticks to the device, which means form and function, right? And it stays there. It's the only pen that you could throw on the side of the device and stay there. And that's the only reason I give Remarkable a pass for their cylindrical tube, because it stays where you put it. This does not. They should have just made something, especially with this loop right here. They should have just made something that was worth holding and worth writing with. But like I said, that being said, I do like this pen a lot. It has a lot going for it. The only problem, like I said, would be the cylindrical nature of it, and not sticking to the side of the device. It does, but all right. So now that we've let the device go on to the startup phase, I didn't get a chance to time that, but it wasn't very long at all. It was super quick. But let's go ahead and turn the device on and go through the setup phase here. All right, so firstly we have English that we're gonna keep with. We're gonna go ahead and set up our Wi-Fi and be right back with you. All right, so we just got done connecting, and as soon as I got connected, it asked me if I wanted to update. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through the update, and then we'll assess everything after that. Be right back. Listen, I've never taken a nap while a product was downloading new firmware. I turned the cameras off, the lights, laid down, got up, checked it, still wasn't done. I don't know how long it was. I'll put the time up here. We'll look at the video and then I'll put the time up. Man, that was a doozy. But just taking a look at the OS here, it's very reminiscent of the Penstar eNote, with the very narrow lines, which is something the Note Air 4C definitely copied. Not copied, but they've adopted that kind of ethos and aesthetic as well. The eNote would have made all of these icons over here have thin lines like these app icons right here, and everything else really. I'm not sure if I like the way they do the tiles for their widgets, just because it's like a whole bunch of empty space with an icon. You know what I mean? It's like there was no, this is a widget just for the sake of being big. It doesn't look like it would have any dynamic information. Kind of like the eNote. The eNote, its widgets weren't dynamic either. The eNote widgets weren't static. Like these widgets down, this widget right here that showed the apps, it would change depending on what apps you had showing right there, right? So it's dynamic in that way. But the email widget wouldn't update email in real time. It would maybe update every hour or something. You know what I mean? If the device was on. So that's not as dynamic as I would have liked it. Not unlike the Books devices that have widgets that will update whenever you use them. So that's cool. I really like that. And what I mean, and by use, I mean use the widget, not the app itself. You go inside and move the widget at all, it updates that widget, the information that it's displaying. This doesn't look like it's going to be that kind of situation. This looks more akin to what the eNote is doing. We're just having a static, for lack of a better term, a super big app icon. But moving along, like I said, I don't like how they have the widgets set up. If these are even widgets, I'm assuming they're widgets because these are apps, so these must be widgets. They're just big apps, it looks like. But let's go ahead and go to the settings and see what we have here. Very reminiscent of the Remarkable. There we go. There we go. The Remarkable. Let's go back. This does remind me a lot of the Remarkable, but because they have this section down, well, the Remarkable does have two sections in their menu thing too, but this does remind me a lot of the Remarkable, but for some reason, Books came to mind first. Well, the Books platform came to mind first because they're using that now as well, which was like directly copied from the Remarkable platform. That's something they took from that platform, and in turn, this platform is also kind of adopting that. That's what I should have been thinking of, the Remarkable 2, and giving credit to them for this kind of design right here, and not the Books Note OS, because they copied that style from Remarkable. So, but moving on to the settings, which, like I said, reminds me a lot of the Remarkable 2 settings. It looks like a decent set of settings here. It doesn't look like to be too much that's going to get you overwhelmed. Let's take a look real quick. Yeah, this is not even Penstar eNote level of settings. This is even less than that, it looks like. What do we got here? Looks like the apps. That looks like to be email and maybe internet. Oh, Chrome. Okay. Awesome. But they do have some apps here. They have the New York Times, they have Chrome, ViTransfer, which I'm assuming is their transfer app. They have an app store. Let's check it out. I don't know what this declaration is, but let's agree. Also, they probably have a small curation of apps that they've picked specifically for their device. Okay, yeah. What else we got here? Okay, that looks like your library. And this looks like pickings, screenshots. All right, we'll go through that. Meetings, okay. Calendar. I hit that calendar accidentally earlier. It looks like something I would dive into, honestly. It looks like to be something that's got some extra features here that maybe you wouldn't find. Okay, so that brings up your doc. That's pretty smart. I like that. Tasks, notes, okay. Month, year, cool. Month and week. Okay, cool. And can you write in here? It's never too late to be grateful. Listen, I like little stuff like that. Little stuff like that, I love. Can we write here? Ooh. Well. Okay, so I'm getting some stickiness here, and I'm becoming to realize that that's just something that happens with new screens. They have some kind of residue on them that'll wear off. I understand that, but yeah. So it doesn't feel like it's going to feel in a day or so after using it. So I won't judge it now. I made that mistake in the past of judging screens out of the box, but they do not feel like they're going to feel in a day or two. So I'll reserve judgment on that. But yeah, right now it still feels good even right now. What is this? Oh, so this is just an erase. I wonder if you can program this button to be a lasso. That's something I'm going to try to figure out as well. But yeah, I mean, the way they're doing the UI, it's super cohesive. Cohesion is something that just helps the end user, right? When you know where to look for things, because things look alike, and you found it in one spot in one app, you might find it in that same spot in another app. You know what an icon does just by looking at it when you see it in different apps. That cohesion just helps the end user. And this looks like to me to be something that has a bit of cohesion to it. But we'll see. We'll see. Right here, we're back at the home page. And I think this is the Notes app here. Yeah, this is the Notes app. So let's go ahead and make us a note real quick and see how that feels. We got, oh, quite a bit of pins here. That's nice. Quite a bit of thicknesses. Lasso tool. AI. Oh, that's the lasso tool here. Erase tool. Okay. Looks like tags. Yeah. The pages. What is this? Add page. Okay. What is this? Oh, that's nice. I like that. A way to get the screen clear of all the clutter is super awesome. I love that. I'm gonna have to dig into this. I like the way this pen feels. I do like it. I do like it. I'm gonna have to pick me a different pen to see how the ink really works, but man, I like that it has some pressure. I like the way the screen feels. Although it's on the slicker side. The screen is definitely on the slicker side. Looks like it has really good glare protection from the light and the angle I'm at. Like, really good glare protection. Yeah, I'm liking it. I like the way the screen feels. I like the way that it looks. I like the glare protection. The closeness, the pen to display distance, I can't really judge it. So it's not like jumping out at me. So I know it ain't. I know it's not E-Note level of close, and maybe not even 10.3, Go 10.3 level of closeness. At least it doesn't look that way to me. This to me looks like the same panel that the E-Note is using, but better. But I know this is a Carter 1300, right? And I don't know, but it looks different than the panel on the Go 10.3. It just does. But I like the way they're doing it. I like the UI. I like the setup. I want to dig more into it. It makes me want to dig more into it. So this is promising. I like what they've done here. I like the way they've gone and laid it out. It's kind of mishmash of a bunch of different things. It's not leaning one hard way into someone else's category. I like it. It's a new thing, right? It blends a lot of things and enough things to make it unique, in my opinion. And I'm definitely looking forward to digging into it. Oh, I just see that they added the note to the widget here. So they're dynamic in that way, at least. And I wonder what will happen if I add some things to meeting and pickings. And those are things I'll definitely cover when I go into the overview and when I get into some of the feature videos I'm going to make about this particular device here. All right, so let's go ahead and see how this fits into the case and see what that whole experience is like before we get out of here. All right, so we got the case here, and there was a couple things I wanted to mention about the device before we put it in the case and check that out. I don't like this flimsy thing here. I thought that was a good idea. I mean, maybe it is. But the way they implemented it is not very good. And I almost wanted to say that I'd rather them not have done anything than do this. But it's better than nothing, right? But it just adds something to be critiqued, like, to me. Like, if you're going to add something there to something you're making, it's going to be critiqued. And if it's not very good, like, why bother, right? Because it's just another thing to be critiqued, even though it's better than nothing. But yeah, it's just, I almost tore this off when I started the unboxing. If you remember that, just I didn't think it was a substantial thing. I thought it could just be torn off. It doesn't feel substantial. And it's just flappy. Even when you, like, if they had put a magnet in there that would just keep it down there or something, fine. That, perfect. But just to have this there and it just, I don't like that. If I don't want to use it, that's not an elegant solution to that problem there. I see that they do have nibs in here. It says right here that there are 2 nibs in there. And you can kind of see that there. A little spot. I guess your SIM tool is needed for that. We'll do that another time. When I do the review for this, we'll talk about that. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this case. I'm not going to lie to you. It just doesn't feel whatever. But as long as it does its like job, as long as it protects the device, that's what we're concerned about. And it does fit into that little groove there really nicely. I do like the way they have it fitting into there. Yeah. And I hear that's what the Remarkable But see, these things do not stay. And I hear that's what the Remarkable case does as well. I have one over there that I need to unbox. They sent it to me and I meant to like unbox it, but I haven't had a chance to do it yet. But I'm going to do that just to see what that case is like. Because if it's like this, then I really do think that's neat too. But that's just another thing that these devices have in common. If you haven't seen my Viwoods Remarkable conspiracy short yet, search it out. I won't bring it up here, but man, I'm telling you, right? So yeah, it fits really nicely in here. Right off the gate though, I wish this little nib here was just closer to the device. If you're gonna do that, bring it in a little closer. You don't want to feel that. You don't want to feel that hump there. You know what I mean? You don't want that. And I would imagine the bottom is, ooh, how is the bottom better? Still not perfect, but better. So yeah, just file that down. I may even do that. just file that down so it sits a little more flush, but whatever. I guarantee the Remarkable 2, when I open that case up and do the unboxing for that and do the video on that, because I think I'll just do an unboxing and an impressions video or review all in one because it's just a case. I guarantee though, when I put the Remarkable 2 in that case, if it has this kind of mechanism, and for what I understand it does, I guarantee I won't have this problem with the lip right there. I guarantee I run my finger along that, it's going to transition so seamlessly I won't even know my finger transition to another part of the case. That's precision. That's remarkable level of precision. Viwoods, you can get there. I believe in you. You can do it. I'm sure. Part 2 of this, R2, AI Paper 2, AI Papers. I know you got this. Did you see the lump in my throat go down? Did you see it? When I saw, oh my, look at this. What is that? See what I'm saying? Even when it's flush, it's not flush. This case is not it, Chief. It's not. Maybe over time that'll go down or go away or something. So yeah, whatever, man. Whatever. Let's just bring that out. They clearly want it to be out. They didn't put enough thought into making it better. They clearly want it to be out. They're like, no one's ever gonna fold that thing back in there. So why bother? Why bother? Yeah, so I don't like the case. I don't like the case at all. There's a couple things that could be better. Well, I'm sorry. There's too many things that could be better. Oh, it does turn the device on when you open it though. That's cool. The device looks cool. Case, not so cool. Pin, it is cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's cool too. It's circular for no reason other than to stick to the device, but it doesn't really. Okay, we'll move on. I do like it, so I'm gonna use this. I'm going to make my overview for it for the operating system. I'm gonna give you some hardware features that I may or may not find in this device. I want to test those speakers to see how good they are facing you. That looks like a novel idea, but a very good one. It makes sense, logical. But yeah, so that is my unboxing of the Viwoods AI Paper. I like the color of the case though. The color of the case, fantastic. They did good on that. But that's the Viwoods AI Paper with the case and the pin. Nice overall package. I'll tear it to shreds later, but thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and like if you like, subscribe if you want to see more, and till next time, take care.